Welcome everybody. We're starting a little late because we tried to wait till everybody else swam in here. So today we're going to talk about Roselle Hibiscus. Now when you say hibiscus, most people think hibiscus, right? Right? But actually there's a lot of different species in the mallow family, and we're going to be talking specifically about Roselle Hibiscus today, which is not this. But before we get started, I thought it would be fun to maybe do a little quiz. So, I know everybody loves quizzes, right? There'll be no grading on this, I promise. So first, let me talk about the Malvaceae family. It's, again, called Hibiscus or Mallow family. It's got approximately 243 different genera. Uh-oh.
Did you do that?
I didn't do that. It's found in most regions of the earth. You know what? Maybe it is this little button here.
We'll stop doing that.
Okay. There, my finger was back. It hit two of them at the same time. Okay. All right. It's got funnel-shaped flowers with at least 3 separate petals on it. Distinctive column of stamens surrounding the pistil. And I'm just going to take this one off. And I know, it was horrible. And I thought I would pass that around. It's a beautiful flower. It's just not, it's in the mallow family, but it's not what we're covering today. You have a distinctive column of stamens that are surrounding the pistil with 3 to 5 partially united sepals together called a calyx, and often surrounded by several bracts. So I've got a picture of that. Believe it or not, what you make your hibiscus tea out of is these calyxes that are right here. When the bloom quits and folds up and falls off, the calyx forms, and it forms a hard covering over the ovary, which is right here. And when after it's done that, then you peel off those hard pieces, and you can either use them fresh or you can dry them. And that's what you use. So I'm going to pass around these. You're more than happy to take one out and taste it if you want. So here comes the test. Are you ready? Oh Lord, is that what I heard? All right. Does anybody know what an Hibiscus escalates is?
It's a spell from Harry Potter.
That's its correct name, but you will recognize it as okra. And okra is in the hibiscus family. You can see the hibiscus type flower there? All right. Don't flunk that one. Let's try again. All right. How about the Malvaceae?
That's one of the professors that talks.
Okay, that is your musk mallow or your hardy hibiscus, rose mallow. It dies down in the winter and comes back in the spring. Does anybody have any of these in their yard? Nice, Nancy.
I've got 5.
5 of them. All right.
I have different types. I have the Lord Baltimore is the really
big one?
Is the big red flower,
one?
but it
they can be a dinner plate in size. They're huge.
it has just a basic green color leaf like that. And then I have the variegated one, the marble has the dark leaf, and it has a red flower too, kind of a really pretty pinkish red flower.
So Nancy was telling us that she has several of these in her backyard, and or in her yard. I'm sorry, maybe not her backyard. I'm going to come get some. I think.
I was going to say, do they freeze?
They freeze back, don't they?
Yeah, they
come back?
They come back. They die back. You know, all the dead wood, and you'll see it during the wintertime, and then they come back up from the base.
Okay, Theobroma cacao.
Sounds like chocolate.
Cacao, yeah. Guess what? It is. It is the cacao tree, which you get your cocoa beans, which you get chocolate, which is a vegetable, right? Who would have thought? But see how the flowers on the tree are actually a hibiscus shape as well. All right. Gossypium. Anybody? This is why this is
That looks familiar.
It looks what?
That looks familiar.
It's Vanessa's nickname.
That's guessing. Gossy? Okay. It is cotton. And cotton, you can really see the calyxes on the cotton ball. these things right here, which if you've ever picked a cotton ball, those are very pointy, not very comfortable to pick with.
Can you make tea from them?
I'm sorry?
Can you make tea?
No, you don't make tea from those. All right, how about this one? Hibiscus syriacus. I bet there's probably half of you have this in your yard. It's your Rose of Sharon. Notice it's also called an althea, but when I looked up althea is also the name for marshmallow plant, so it gets all confusing. So, all right, Hibiscus rosa sinensis. That is one of these. So it's your tropical hibiscus. They also call it a Chinese hibiscus. All right, how many got those right?
I got one.
Yeah, oh, you got a chocolate one, didn't you? Look at some of the others that we've got here. The durian fruit, I'm not going to even try some of these names here. I know that's the sticky fruit, right? Hollyhock. In England, you have the linden tree, and here in America, we have what we call the basswood, which that tree is in the hibiscus family. You have the marshmallow, and you have the Confederate rose. Don't you have a Confederate rose?
Oh, I got a bunch of
Bunch of. Will they be at the plant sale?
I don't know. They're still in the bucket.
Ah, okay.
Rudy.
All right. So, now Bill's passing out the handout so that you have something to look at and write on if you need to. Now you know the official name of okra. But the Roselle hibiscus is native to Western Africa, and it has some common names like Roselle, red sorrel, Florida cranberry, Jamaican tea, even called sour. You'll know why in a little while. The parts that are used are your calyxes of the flower, the leaves, and the seed pods. So this is a picture of my plant that I started from seed last year. And that's 1 year of growth, and it was about 6 to 7 feet tall.
You started them from seed.
It was started from seed.
Did you bring me the seed?
I brought some seedlings. Wow. So don't get dismayed. It also is, this is really a little early to be starting the seed. So you've got plenty of time. If you decide to go get seed now, you can easily start yours up. You probably will not find these in a nursery.
Where'd you get your seeds?
I think I ordered mine from Bakery. But it likes loose, well-drained soil, rich in organic materials. I really don't spoil it. I just put it out in the middle of the garden and it kind of does its thing. It does like water, so it's good to keep it watered. The seeds, like it says, will germinate when it gets warmer. It grows well in the full sun, and it does not tolerate frost. So you will have this baby until probably mid-November, and as soon as we get the first frost, it acts just like your tropical hibiscus, and it goes away. It does not come back. It does not make it come back. I think, Paula, didn't you say you had one come up from a seed, or was it from the root?
No, it was from the seed.
From the seed. So hers self-seeded, and she got one to come up, but it doesn't come back up from the root. So it only grows as an annual in our zone. Obviously, in the tropics, it's grown more as a perennial, and it can grow up to 8 feet tall. So it has a significant source of vitamin C, vitamin A. It's rich in calcium, iron, magnesium, and potassium. Now I'm talking about the calyxes here. It has amino acids in it, which are protein building blocks. It also has a high mucilage content. I know that always sounds gross. Think of okra, right? But your gut loves that. And so that's why it's so good for your body. So it is also considered, it also has as possible health benefits, and I'm not a doctor, but it says it's anti-inflammatory, it's anti-spasmodic, antimicrobial, means it acts against bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. It is rich in polyphenols and flavonoids. It's a natural diuretic, a mild laxative, and it contains alpha hydroxy acids. So I've got this big long list of information here that you can read at your leisure. But what I wanted you to see is they've done a number of studies on this plant, and instead of going by what you might call folklore, or it's possible that it can work, there actually have been studies that have done that shown that there is a good correlation between drinking a couple of cups of Roselle tea and good cardiovascular health. So it has been known to drop your blood pressure, and you can use it in conjunction with your regular blood pressure medication. You just need to realize that that might affect your blood pressure at that time when you're taking it. It also has got some emerging evidence on helping with your lipid profile. That's your cholesterol profile, insulin resistance, oxidative stress, and inflammation. But they're saying that they need to do further studies in order for them to be able to actually document that. These studies were also done on human trials, so it's not like we're just trying to compare ourselves to dogs or cats or monkeys. They have actually done that. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to make the tea out of these dried calyxes, and I almost always just use the dried. I don't have to put them in a dehydrator or anything like that. I just take them off of the seed pod. You throw the seed pod away, and you just put this. I put it out on my dining room table, like in cookie sheets, and just let it dry naturally. Once they're dry, you can just bag them up. And what do you do after you bag something up? Label and date. Very good. Label and date. They're good for longer than a year, but obviously they're going to lose some of their taste and some of their nutrition the longer that they sit, right? So you want to keep them nicely bagged up after you're sure that they're completely dry. They'll be very crisp. And then you have a number of options that you can do. So I have, this is a little one where you put the calyxes in, and then when you set it on your cup, it releases the water. So it automatically just drains it out. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to pull it through your teeth to get it through, right? Then the other one is this one where you put it inside here and you let it just simmer in here. And you've got this little cup, and it actually pushes it down as well to kind of squeeze out all the good stuff. Yeah. If you have big enough, you might have a few pieces come out, but this is an infusion pitcher, and so you could easily throw some here in the pitcher here. It would probably blend really nicely with some lemon balm or maybe a spearmint or a peppermint too, and you could just put that in here and put cold water in here and put it in the refrigerator, and you can have a nice infused water. And then you can use just your hot tea. You can put some in your little cup, and then you just close up your little cup and stick it in your water. So having said that, I've got directions on how to make your hibiscus tea. And before I forget, you can also use the leaves. The leaves have a really nice little raspberry flavor to them. I usually don't brew them in tea. I just take them off and chew on them while I'm in the garden. It's kind of
Just the regular leaves?
the regular leaves, and I use them fresh, but obviously if you don't have them fresh, you would use 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried if you're drying the leaves, and then it'd be 1 to 2 tablespoons if it's fresh.
Tell them about Adam.
Yeah, I've got a little boy that comes next door and helps me put up my chickens every night, and he pulls the leaf off of that hibiscus every time he comes through.
He chews it like gum.
Yeah, just
Better for you.
Yeah, yeah. Also, you can use the calyxes themselves after they dry. You can grind them up in like a coffee grinder, and you can make it. It's like a cranberry relish. You can Google it, but it will make a cranberry. That's why it's called cranberry. Is one of its nicknames, because it has a lot of the same flavors, I guess you'd say. But you can grind it up and make it into a more of like a cranberry sauce, and it's going to be smoother. Or you can just chop it up. I would recommend, if you're going to do that, you probably want to chop them before they dry, because it's going to be kind of hard to chop. And by the way, these look kind of different. My friend Larry is the one that helps me with these, and he gave me a white Roselle hibiscus one time, and so there's some white petals in here. I told him I didn't like the white petals; they didn't make a pretty color, so I quit. I don't raise that one anymore. But anyway, you can do you can do the relish as a chopped, or you can do it as a powder. So to make your hibiscus tea, you're going to get 4 cups of filtered water. Boil it. After you've boiled it, then you'll pour it over a 1/4 cup of your dried hibiscus calyxes in a teapot or pitcher, and pour the hot water over them. Steep for 5 to 10 minutes, It says if you steep it longer than that, it gets bitter. Bill, I'll make a big pitcher and I'll have about a cup of calyxes down the bottom, and Bill just keeps drinking on it, and sometimes it's out for 2 days and he still drinks on it, and the calyxes are still in there. You can also, they probably have what I call a half-life. So if you've done, like right now, if you do a fourth of a cup and you do 4 cups of water on it, then you can probably make another batch with at least 2 cups of water. Okay? So just kind of gauge it based on the color of the tea. The other way you can do it is the cold brew method, where you just let it sit in the refrigerator. Doesn't that look refreshing? 8 cups of cold filtered water, and then you strain out the calyxes, sweeten if desired, and serve over ice. Again, we never take the calyxes out. I figure that's probably better than taking them out, but if you feel the need to take them out. Also, this blends very well with other herbs or other like lemon and lime, that kind of stuff. So it will keep in the refrigerator for up to 5 days. So this is what I have to do to make sure that I cover all my bases here, but it's generally safe to consume in moderation. So anytime you want to do what I call a therapeutic dose, which would mean taking more than 2 to 3 cups a day, I recommend you talking to your pharmacist or your doctor about what you currently have in the way of prescriptions to make sure that you're not doing anything that might adversely affect your health. They always also recommend that you talk to your doctor if you're pregnant or nursing. It may cause stomach upset. I would think I would never drink 2 to 3 cups the first time I ever tried it. I would try a little bit of it and see how it settles. I've never had a problem. In fact, it's a lot of people will take it and drink it after their dinner. So again, the experts recommend you're limiting your consumption to 2 to 3 cups per day. And like I said, there's a difference between drinking in moderation and then trying to drink it for a therapeutic dosage. And again, you might have a healthcare professional that will work with you on that. So for instance, I take medicine for high blood pressure. So if I drink a cup in the morning and a cup in the evening, maybe I put my blood pressure medication in the middle of the day instead of, or something to that effect. So I might not put the 2 of them right together. All right. And I've got a few other things we've got to do, but first I wanted to check, does anybody have any questions?
I didn't see anybody teaching.
Tincture. I didn't talk about tincture, but I don't know why we couldn't do a tincture. So almost all of the herbs, when I go over, we always do a tincture where you put it in a high-grade alcohol, drinking alcohol, and let it set for 6 to 8 weeks, and then you use a dropper full. Again, you can put it just in your drink or put it under your tongue. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be good, Christy, right?
I can't either.
Because it's
Which is
gonna
why I
have,
was curious.
right, it's gonna have all the constituents of the water. So some herbs you get more of their properties through water, and others you get through alcohol. So we're talking about what you're getting through water. So Christy, I'm gonna put it on you to test that, because I'm sure that you'll be more than willing to test that tincture out, right?
Give me some whole.
Yeah, give you some, yeah. All right.
Hey Teresa.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you know that it says if they're an annual, you
Yes.
put them in the ground. What if because I've got one in hibiscus, it's an annual, but I keep it in a pot, throw it in the greenhouse.
You can
Can you do
you
the
can
same
you should be
thing?
able to do the same thing. I always leave mine out to the last minute because I'm trying to grow those calyxes just a little bit larger. Which reminds me, if you get one, I always thought, well, as soon as the flower is gone, then that would mean that the calyx is done, right? Because but actually the calyx continues to grow. So your calyx starts out about this big, and it can grow to be about that big. So don't pull your calyx off right away. When they start peeling back, like they're fixing to lose their seeds, you can take them off then. It's not going to hurt them to stay there. And like I said, they will grow larger if you leave them on there.
Did you read them?
Do deer eat them? I'm sure deer eat everything, so I don't know why they would eat
Can
them.
you save those seeds to replant them?
Yes, that's what I have here. I planted these from seed that I got from my last year's.
Out of the calyx.
Yeah. All right.
Are all hibiscus able to take those calyx and use them, or they don't? the
Okay,
ones
so
don't?
the question is, can you use the calyxes on all your hibiscus? And what I will tell you is that most of the family, the mallow family, are edible, but I would recommend that you check with each one to make sure. I've actually made hibiscus flower tea. Now, when you Google and you put hibiscus flower, you're gonna get calyxes. They intermingle them, they mix them around, but you can actually you pull them off, you have to pull them off when they're in their full bloom, and you put them in water. They're a lot more delicate, so they're gonna fall apart pretty quick, and they're kind of, if you don't drink it right away, you kind of get it, kind of gets thick and gummy. Anyway, it makes a different tea, but you can drink it that way. Some people will put these flowers in their salads.
Yeah.
You know, decoration. If somebody picks it up and eats it, they're not
They're not gonna die from
hurt them. It's not gonna contaminate. I'm kind of with Nancy when she was talking about earlier. These leaves are shiny and glossy. My opinion is if it's glossy, I don't know that I would eat this one. I have another hibiscus that I had was a cranberry hibiscus. I do believe it was probably a perennial, a hardy hibiscus. And I did dry the leaves on that one and kept that for tea. But for the most part, I would say typically calyxes are what gets thrown away. I mean, that's what I find so interesting is that in this particular flower, you throw away the flower. It's just kind of, but again, you could use the flower.
So I have a hibiscus in my garden, but it's tall. It's not real bushy. It grows tall.
Okay.
Do you know what kind that would be?
Is it got shiny leaves or is it?
I don't know. I have to go look at it.
Probably okra.
No, it's not. My husband planted okra. My husband planted okra, and they are pretty, but they take over everything.
Does it die back to the ground?
You know,
Or does the flower, the green come back off of the main?
it's already reblooming, so it's probably
Okay,
a
so
hard
it's probably
hibiscus.
Rosa Sharon.
Oh, it's probably Rosa Sharon. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we got those in there. So I've got some, I made up some tea last night, and I thought I would let everybody try hibiscus tea. Now, it does not have any sugar or lemon or anything like that in it. So, you might remember that if you don't really care for it now, you might like it better with some sugar. You know, these sweet tea people have a hard time with it.
Teresa, have you tried dyeing stuff with this?
I'm sure you could dye stuff with it, absolutely.